The opinions expressed on the X and Y show are the sole opinions of the host. Please note, there is no intentional desire to offend any member of the listening audience. With that said, if you still feel offended, tough shit.
It's time for the X and Y show with your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y show.
Oh yeah. Sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
I'm the boss of you. When a mother says to be quiet, she's the boss of you, and you need to listen to that. Bottom line. When a teacher says something, she's the boss of you, and you need to listen. Shut up!
Give me a turn to speak. Fine, see? You do that to me. How does it feel? How does it feel to be told to shut up?
We've talked about it.
Let me speak. How does that
Do
feel?
not.
How does that feel?
Do not put your hands on me. Do you understand me?
Go. You cannot behave, you get a timeout. 4 minutes. Do not move until the timer goes out.
I bet you wish you would have listened now, huh? Does your nose get smashed when you're in the corner? Grandma was just wondering. No? Oh. Do you think about your bad behavior in the corner?
What? You gonna kick my butt? You better stop talking mess. What did I say? I'm fat.
Greetings. Welcome to another segment of the XY Show. And I'm your host, Roosevelt. Hope everyone's staying safe in the corona quarantine. We're all going through this, and, we'll get through it like we get through everything else. So I hope everyone's safe. I hope everyone's following instructions to stay home. Stay your ass home. No need to be going out. This is the perfect time to be getting some pussy. You shouldn't be wanting to go out. They can't go nowhere. They trapped. So this is the perfect time to be getting you some pussy. What you want to go out for. Ladies too, this is the perfect time for you to be getting you some dick. They always talking about they go into the sports bar. And always going out with the fellas and all that shit. Now they can't go nowhere. It's the perfect time for you to be getting some dick. So I don't know what everybody, going crazy and just get a kid some NyQuil, put the ass to sleep and fuck. What is the problem? Anyway. If you noticed during the segment when I first came on the show, you heard a bunch of recordings from different kids disrespecting their parents. And let me get into tonight's episode. Is spanking your kids okay? Is spanking your kids okay? And a lot of you saying right now, absolutely not. I would never hit my kid. And, and some of you saying, absolutely. I always hit my kid when he fuck up. It's always two extremes. It's very in the middle. You heard the segment of kids disrespecting their parents. And I could have got much more than I did, but, those kind of stuck out at me. Like the first one was the boy, not to mention he was talking back and disrespecting him. Then he actually hit it. He slapped his mother, if you heard it. He slapped, it wasn't a little slap. He slapped the shit out of her. He actually slapped it. Do you realize if I would have slapped my mother, my father, oh my goodness. But if I would have slapped, there's no way I'll be sitting here talking to you right now. And I wouldn't have wanted to slap my mother, But, I grew up in a different generation where I actually respected my parents. And that's something that these little fucking brats don't do. And it's not the kid's fault. It really isn't. They don't know any better, so they're allowed to get away with shit from 1 year old when it's cute and you're laughing and shit. Oh, he talking back to me. He hitting me back. It's cute. But when they 20 and they whooping on your ass, oh shit, 20. When they 13 and 12 and whooping your ass, it's not so funny no more, is it? But I don't blame the kids. I blame these punk ass parents. And a lot of you listening to my voice are some punk asses. So if I had to answer that question, hell yeah, it's okay to beat your kids. Yes. That timeout shit do not work. Fuck a timeout. You heard one of those kids in the segment, the grandmother was asking, do you actually care? Do you actually think about what you did bad in the timeout? And the kid said no. You know why he said no? Because he don't give a fuck about no timeout. That ain't shit. Oh, if I mess up, I just stand in the corner for 4 minutes and it's over. There's no fear in that. That's nothing to tremble over. But if a parent tell you, look, son, you fuck up again, I'm going to whoop your ass. That gets my ear. That used to get my attention. A timeout? What? That wouldn't get my attention. But the threat of an ass whooping, that kind of get my ear a little bit. And for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you live through the mother. I used to always, I was not that bad. I was more of a joker. I was more a comedian, mischief type kid. I wasn't bad, but I used to do some shit, And I used to watch my mom, and we used to have this paper tree out in the front yard, and when she couldn't take it no more, me, just doing shit, she wouldn't say anything. She'd just stroll out to the front yard. I'm watching it out to that paper tree, and she would get about 2 or 3 stitches. For those of you who don't know what a stitch is, it's a wooden limb, a short wooden limb for spankings. She would go out and get about 2 or 3 of them. So she'd have them, stationed in different rooms and shit. And, the kitchen, and the living room, and, I think she slept with one too. But, when I seen her going to that tree, I said, okay, that shit over with. Time to straighten up. And she would come back in, say, all right, I'm ready for your ass. I'm ready for you now. That's what she would tell me. And I see she didn't have to say too much because I knew the playtime was over. It was time to straighten up. You know, I feared her. I respected her. It was a fear, but it was a good fear. You know, I respected her for that. My dad, the same shit. I mean, my dad, he had a little bit more tools in his arsenal. My dad whooped your ass with a extension cord was not his style. Belt. I'm not a extension cord. Stitch was not his style. But extension cord, oh yeah. That was in his repertoire. A belt. And my dad could slap like nobody I ever seen. He was one of the best slappers ever. But you know what? I respected my dad, and I love my parents to this day, and I'm glad that they did that to me. It wasn't abuse. A lot of abuse saying, "Oh my God, that's abuse. Oh my God, that's abuse. Oh my goodness." It was not abuse. That's a difference. When you just punching on a kid and kicking them and making them black and blue and just beating the shit out of them, like, you know, that's different. That's abuse. A spanking is not abuse. A spanking is a hard discipline result when a kid fuck up. That's all it is. It's a discipline activity. That's what it is. And it's an activity that the kid will not forget. They'll forget a timeout. Fuck a timeout. That ain't shit. But an ass whooping holds a little bit more weight. You know. But a lot of you punk ass parents out there, oh no, that's abuse. I'm not hitting my child. You know, I work with this girl. I'm not going to say her name, obviously, just in case she might listen. But she said her son, they go out to eat dinner, and she said her son likes to run. Like, you know, when you go out, as soon as they get out of the door of the restaurant, he just runs. And she said he did it twice where he almost got into, the traffic. So I guess they were at a restaurant that was close to a street or something, I don't know. But he did it twice and almost got into traffic. And she said, I really had to tell him, don't you do that. Oh, don't do that. And he did it twice. And I'm thinking to myself, I bet you if you whooped his ass that first time, that would have been the end of that. You know. But no, she would never hit that kid. I mean, and that's why, you know, he's... let me stop. But, and, you know, and that brings me to that subject. That's a real good reason why guys don't like to fuck with women with kids. Oh, yeah, I said it. I'm going to say it again. That's why a lot of guys don't like to fuck with women with kids. Because of that reason. Because a lot of you mothers don't know what the fuck you doing. You know, you let your kids run all over you. And then when the guy comes and instills discipline in their ass, oh, don't you hit my kids. My kids, don't you hit them. Ooh. So if he sees, like, you know, I'm not going to be able to tell these kids anything when we're married, so I'm out of here. I'm out of here. You know. And if you like me, you don't even go there. Fuck that. It's too much aggravation. You know, I will not be disrespected by a kid in my house where I'm paying for the food, I'm paying for the utilities, I'm paying for the clothes on their ass. I will not be disrespected. I will jack their little asses up. And yes, I believe in spanking. I believe in ass whippings. So I will not be told by my wife, oh, don't you hit my kids, you know. Don't you hit my kids. You're not even the real father. That's bullshit. If the mother really loved the kids, she would step the fuck out of the way and let him do his job. You know, straighten their asses out so they won't be whooping your ass in 10 and 12 years. But a lot of mothers don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. They say, oh, no, that's wrong. You're crazy. I'm not letting a stepfather beat my kids. I'm not letting her. And that's the problem with society today. You don't want no one to beat your kids, including you. Talking about a fucking timeout. And then what happens? They whooping your ass in 10 to 12 years. 18 to 19 years, they robbing folks and doing all kind of crazy shit. 20 years, they in prison. State to straighten their asses out. Oh yeah, real fast. Now, I want to say that just because you spank your kids, it doesn't mean they're never going to get in trouble. That's not what I'm saying. A lot of you saying that, we used to get a lot of spankings and my brother went to jail. Well, your brother was stupid. But I'm not saying that. I am not saying that you beat your kids, guaranteed they will not get in trouble. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, if you spank your children, the chances are greater that they will not get in trouble. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I respected my parents, my mother and father. I didn't want to hear, when I was in school, I was a little joker, like I said. I was a little comedian and shit. But my teacher said, you know what, I'm going to call your father? What? The comedy show was over. No more jokes. I didn't want her to call my father or my mother. No. Hold on. Let's talk about this. Let me do some extra credit or something. Don't call him. Shit. But now these kids don't give a fuck. Call them. These kids, call them. Call her. I don't care. Fuck you too. All kind of shit. These kids don't give a fuck. They don't respect nobody. And that's the problem with society. These old badass kids growing up, and they grow up in they fucked up kids, and they grow up to be fucked up adults. For someone who has never been disciplined or had disciplined, how can they be a good person? How could they be a good person? And it reflects what's going on in these schools today. These students, these little kids, these little bastards. God damn it, that's what I said. These little bastards, they don't respect nobody. You send them to the principal's office, they don't give a fuck. Oh, good. You want me to go? I don't have to do no work then. See, when I was coming up, you didn't want to go to the principal's office because you'll get a paddling on your ass. Now, if it was something like a little, and my principal in my school, he didn't get too many pardons. It depends on how he's feeling. But he didn't give too many pardons. So you go to his office, your ass getting paddled. You didn't want to go to the principal's office. Hell no. And then after the principal's office, they're going to call your parents and tell them what happened. Then you got to go home and get an ass whooping. So you didn't want all that trouble. I didn't. But now these kids don't give a fuck. Send me to the principal's office. I don't care. Suspend me. I don't give a damn. Man. So, man, if I'd have got suspended, there's no way I would have made it to adulthood. Oh my goodness. Now these kids don't give a damn. They look at it as being a vacation out of school where they can play video games because the parents ain't going to do shit to them. Billy, I told you again. I'm not going to tell you again. Get in that corner. Get the fuck out of here. Billy don't give a fuck about no damn timeout. Carolyn, if I'm gonna count to 3, you better stop it. Carolyn don't give a fuck if you count to 3. What is wrong with you parents? A lot of you motherfuckers are just silly. I just call it like it is. You're just silly. Don't you realize that you're hurting them in the long run if you don't instill discipline in them? That ain't no fucking timeout. That ain't no fucking counting to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And 7, 8, 9. Or however far you want to go. That's an ass whooping. You know. That's an ass whooping. With a belt. You know. If they're little toddlers, and a lot of you say, you can't beat a toddler with a belt. There's a thing called a comb. Okay? Look, used to be, I don't know if they still make ace combs. But back in the day, those ace combs, they weren't soft like they are now. They were like hard plastic. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And when the mom got that ace comb on your ass, you know, that got results too. So you don't have to use a belt if they're a toddler, 2 and 3 years old. No. Put an ace comb on their ass. That's enough. Or a switch. You got a nice little paper tree out in the front yard. Now when they start getting them them pre-teen years, 8, 9, 10, 11, it's time for a belt on that ass then. And they're a little thicker, you might want to get that extension cord on their ass. It's different weapons that you can use in your repertoire, but they must be used. If you truly love your kids, you must spank them. Don't be listening to that societal bullshit by a lot of these silly-ass psychiatrists, saying that it's abusive. That's abuse for you to hit your kids. That is inhumane. Are those psychiatrists going to be there when those kids whooping your ass in 10, 12, 15 years? Are they going to be there? No. Chances no, they won't be there. I don't understand how, that's why a lot of times I don't trust doctors, especially, psychologists and psychiatrists, because they say all this bullshit, and people listen to that shit. When they started pumping all that bullshit in the schools about paddling is inhumane, and that's an archaic way of disciplining a child. We must talk to a child and make sure that they understand what they did wrong. If you whoop a child's ass, they'll know exactly what they did wrong. Okay, all right, I got it. Won't do that no more. No need for talking. It's too much talking. That's what's got us in trouble today. All this damn talking. And kids not respecting nobody. But, all these psychiatrists and psychologists pumping all this bullshit in schools. Now, most schools, you can't paddle anymore. It's illegal. You can't hit these kids no more. And shit, you don't have to go that far. At home, you can't whoop your kids no more. They call the state on your ass, and they might take your kids. Oh, he's abusing them. We can't leave them there. Let's put them in a foster home. So, shit, some states it's hard for even parents to discipline their child, let alone a school. And that's what is happening in society. That's why society is so fucked up. Because you got these little kids, these little fucked up kids, growing up to be fucked up adults. That's the bottom line. It's not rocket science. And then with another thing that tripped me out, these psychiatrists and psychologists, they say, oh, well, I think he has a mild form of HD. So we're gonna recommend these pills. You give it to them, and everything will be fine. Pills. So basically, they want the kids to be half high in class, so they, sit their ass still and won't be fighting the teachers and shit. They'll just give him this pill. He'll be all right. And you stupid motherfuckers give your kids these pills and have them all fucked up in the head, because the psychiatrists and psychologists say it's okay. So I'm going to give it to them. They say it's all right. I'm going to give it to them. Ain't nothing wrong with that kid. He ain't got no ADHD. He just need an ass whooping. That's all. Hell, if that shit was around when I was coming up, half the kids in the class would have been ADHD, taking pills and shit. So I don't believe in that shit. I don't buy into that bullshit. And you parents need to stop buying into that bullshit. It's fucking up our school system. It's fucking up our society. And a lot of you is fucking up your family. These badass kids taking over. All it takes is a good ass whooping. That will stop so much trouble. You just don't realize. So, do I believe is spanking your kids okay? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's okay. Damn right. And ladies, you single ladies out there with kids, if you really want a chance of getting married again, when that stepfather tries to discipline on kids, shut the fuck up. I mean, coming in with that bullshit talking about, you don't hit my kids. Oh, no. Nobody hits my kids. Oh. And if you don't allow that, then you probably won't ever get married, because there's no telling how many men you done ran off already. When the boyfriend starts coming over and you start getting to know each other, and he says one little thing to the kids, you're not even spanking them. He just says something, hey, don't do that. Don't talk to your mother like that, or whatever. He says something to discipline him, and you like, you don't talk to my kids like that. You guys know I ain't lying. You have friends that do that. Women who have done that to their boyfriends. You don't talk to my kids like that. So if it's already starting off small, like, damn, we're not married, and she won't even let me speak to him. So, damn it, she ain't gonna let you spank him. So why in the fuck would I go in a house that I'm paying all the bills and shit and being disrespected by some kids? Hell no. Hell fuck no. So ladies, if you really want to get married again and the guy want to discipline your kids, shut the fuck up. Parents, stop buying into that bullshit. Stop allowing these fucking psychiatrists and psychologists run your home, run your family, and ruin your kids. That's the 3 R's. Run your home, ruin your family, and ruin your kids. Stop allowing these motherfuckers to do that. Fuck a timeout. Kids are not hearing that shit. Fuck you counting to 60. They ain't hearing that. Spank your kids. I'm not talking about abuse. That's different. But ain't nothing wrong with a good ass whooping. Trust me, it does wonders. All right, and that concludes another show. Wow. So, if you don't know, the X1 show is now doing a weekly format. So now that I'm not in school any longer, I got more time on my hands, and I'm bumping it up a little bit. So I'm going every week now instead of bi-weekly. I know a lot of you are happy. And that's good. I'm happy as well to provide you more episodes, so to entice your listening pleasure. So be sure to subscribe to the X and Y Show. I'm on a lot of avenues. Whatever you listen to podcasts, I'm on Spreaker. That's my main hub. I'm on Stitcher, TuneIn, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Blueberry, and Apple Podcasts. So whatever you listen to, go ahead and subscribe. I would definitely appreciate that. I'm also on social media. I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and Instagram. You can find all of my social media and my platforms on my website, which is www.thexyshow.com. www.thexyshow.com. You can find everything there. You can also find a contact form to give any constructive criticisms or anything you want to say to me, hello, or write a letter. You can do that in the contact form, and I would definitely try to read them on air, and appreciate you saying hello to me. A store is coming. I'm actually working on it. So stay tuned for that. And I want you all to buy a shirt and take a picture and let me know how much you truly love the X and Y Show. That would be great. So without further ado, I will see you all next week. Not in 2 weeks. Next week. And I want you always to remember that you cannot have love without X and Y. Later.
You've been listening to The X and Y Show with your host, Roosevelt Colbert, the place where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. Join us next time. You can now put your clothes back on. Or not.